Showboating boys, man. We are back in here. Salute. Salute, salute. To everybody just rolling. Josephine is in the building. Salute, King. How are you doing today, man? We are going to go ahead and get this. We're going to keep on. Anyway, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Please do that for your boy. Anyway, we are back. We are back in this camp. We are going to go ahead and open up these phones. Go ahead. You see the phone number at the very bottom of your screen scrolling on through. Lines are getting ready to open in here in just half a second, like we always do. We open it up. So if you want to say yes, you want to give small, we put it out there open. The mic check is in the building. Salute, salute. T-Word in the building. Mic check. Yeah, T-Word. The mic check is in the building. If you guys haven't subscribed to the mic check, make sure you guys do. And you definitely want to go in there. The guy knows his stuff. So you definitely want to click on that and sub the channel. Man, so we're going to talk about Keith Thurman versus Jaron Ennis. Man, from what I'm hearing, it might be a chance that Keith Thurman, Jaron Ennis might get something popping off. I don't know how true that is. I take that with a grain of salt because it's just something that's going around. You know what I mean? And it could be just stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? Because matter of fact, I was asking the questions. I was like, well, is Keith Thurman going to fight Jaron Ennis? They say, well, it could be. That's how that went down, right? So that's why I say I'm kind of hearing it. Maybe I want to know who's best for the next person. Because this Keith Thurman needs to have a really good fight. What's he going to do? Just keep sitting around playing the flute, Spence and plays out? That's not going to work. Keith Thurman can't just keep sitting around with that. His ring rust, and guess what, Keith? Then when you come back in, if you do get that, then that's just, to me, you just looking for a payday. That means you're like, you don't know how true that is, but that's what it seems like to me. So I don't know. I don't know. What, you know, if you really want my opinion on this, if Keith Thurman is smart, he'll go after Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis didn't look the best in the world. It didn't look bad. He didn't look bad. He just didn't make the adjustments like I thought Jaron Ennis should, but that's okay. You know, the guy was on his motorcycle and getting out of there, but I think Keith Thurman should take a shot at that. Because Jaron Ennis is in position, and Keith Thurman wants to be in position. Only way to be in position is go ahead and knock somebody out, else out of that contention. So hopefully Keith Thurman will recognize that he needs to go get a fight, and a fight with a good name on it, right? Who else could he fight? He could fight Stanionis. He could fight Virgil Ortiz. He could fight somebody to make sure that when it's his time up, his time again, he'll be right in the right spot. Salute, salute, Mr. Jefferson, salute. I saw you on Fatal Attraction, bro. Good job. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's why I told you some of them nights I was out of here. I had to film about 3 of them things, man. So that's what kind of on there. Yeah, he said Boots versus Keith is a good fight. So do you guys think that might be next? To me, I think Keith Thurman should go after that fight next. For real. And think about this. Think about this. If Keith Thurman doesn't take that Boots fight, what is Keith Thurman waiting around for? Right? Basically, Keith Thurman is saying, I'm only going to sit here unless I get Spence or Bud, right? It's not going to happen. Now it's a done deal. And I told y'all remember I told y'all, I said, it's a done deal. Took him forever, made your boy look bad for a long time, right? But I kept saying that. And everybody kept saying, well, they're going to strip Spence. They're going to strip this guy. They're going to strip that guy. They weren't going to strip shit. They weren't going to strip nobody because they knew that fight was going to happen and they wanted that money, right? So now Keith Thurman has got to do something to make sure he stays right up at the top. Other than that, you just waiting on a payday and ain't nobody going to wait for that. Might just say Keith might price himself out, but he'd give Boots hell. Yeah, he would. It would be a really good fight. Hey, I'm going to tell you this. This is what I think about it. You had Jaron Ennis fighting, what was his name, Karen? And when he was fighting the guy, he wasn't making the proper adjustments to go ahead and cut the ring off. And I think it was like round 10 or round 11. He made those adjustments and looked like he got to him. Then he went back to the same thing, right? But this is the thing. That falls right up under Keith Thurman's, right down his alley. You know what I'm saying? Because Keith Thurman gets on that bicycle. Keith Thurman's going to hit, and be on that bike and go. You know what I'm saying? But now Keith done been out the ring almost a little too long again, right? But Keith is not getting Spence or Bud. He damn sure ain't getting them next, right? And he might not get him after that. So what you going to do? You're going to keep waiting, Keith? Because let's say right now Earl beats Crawford and they don't take a rematch. But he's getting Earl because Earl said he's not going to fight. So you're getting the fight. What you waiting on? Said Thurman can't be choosy at this time. Boots will get him back in the mix. Yeah, exactly. You Thurman can't be choosy. What's up, 8 Mile? Salute. So Thurman can't be too picky. But this is my problem. I'm a fan of boxing, right? And I tell y'all, I stand on that I still have a problem with Keith Thurman dodging Spence. I do have that problem, but I don't give a crap about any of that right now. What I'm saying is, I want to see, I think Keith should have to fight these people to stay in there. I would like to see Keith and Earl fight, right? But I'm still mad at Keith. So I do want to see him have to go through the fire to get back to the top. I really do. But this is my point. I'm not going to sit around and support Keith and all Keith is looking for is a payday, because that's what it looks like to me now. Because you say that you want the big fights. You say you ain't ducking nothing. You want to be back into it. Well, who you going time? You might as well go after Jaron Ennis. You got to go after another big fish, right? Either him or Ugas. And Ugas ain't, to me, this is my thing. I want to see Ugas have a tune-up fight. Not a Keith Thurman fight, not Jaron Ennis. Give Ugas a tune-up fight to see what Ugas does after that hard Spence fight. Give Ugas one fight and then let him get back into it, right? But as of right now, there's nothing wrong with Thurman. Thurman's coming back after that layoff. He says he's ready to go. Okay, man, come on. Let's see what you got. You know what I mean? It's time to get in there. Don't sit around and wait for no payday. You know what I mean? Because that's what it looks like you're doing. Hey, go after Virgil Ortiz or go after somebody with a name. You know what I'm saying? Somebody with a name that we can see what you got. You know what I mean? That you can say, okay, is the next best fight that Keith Thurman can do. And he's going to try to stay busy, get a fight. That will make a really good fight. And Jaron Ennis have teamed up and they got a couple of fight deals, but that puts Keith Thurman right back where he wants to be. If you go in there and you beat Jaron Ennis, you are right back where you wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Because Keith Thurman said this. I don't know if you guys saw the interview he did. I think it was with Ellie Setback. He was like, yeah, man, when I watched that fight, I was watching her like, man, that should be me. Talking about Ugas and Spence. That should be me, because the only reason why Spence is fighting him is because I lost to Pacquiao. If I hadn't lost to Pacquiao, it would be me in there. Man, dude, you could have been already in there, bro. You chose not to take the fight, right? Just like right now, just like the mic check just said, Keith Thurman might price himself out. Don't price yourself out, Thurman, because you're not getting those big old fights. You're not getting it. Bud and Spence ain't coming back to help you and give you a chance. Or what? They don't get nothing for it. You know what I'm saying? You got beat by Pacquiao, which to me, Keith should have been training. Keith should have had that long layoff. And then, because Keith was getting back into it till he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't score that as a knockdown because that wasn't a knockdown to me. Well, it was a knockdown. It was a knockdown. Let me rephrase that. It does score as a knockdown, but technically, you got to look at it from the way I saw it is Keith was backing straight up, and Pacquiao stepped on his toe a little bit, and Keith fell with both of that, right? But he wasn't hurt, but it counts. It counts. So let me shut my mouth with that. Y'all hear me say that counts as a knockdown. But I thought Keith was turning back up and getting himself back into the fight and going to win the fight till he got caught right in the midsection and got on his bicycle and ran, right? But at the end of the day, Keith should have been right there at the casino, down there gambling when he knew he should have been wherever he was, you know what I mean, getting some rest and all that. But he down at the casino right before the fight. Keith Thurman head was not into it. And right now, it has me question, is Keith Thurman head into this? Because on the interview that I saw the other day when I looked at Keith Thurman, I looked at him and his shirt was kind of baggy, but all of us do that. We look at a fighter and say, okay, was he in shape? Is he totally out of shape? Keith looked like he picked up some weight, but I don't know how much weight he picked up. Is he still ready, or is he got to go do another fat camp and go get back in shape? I don't know. But that says a lot about a fighter, If Thurman did yeah, okay, cool, wait. He said to fight a dog on the duck list. If he doesn't fight Virgil, Stanioses, or Boots next, then yeah, I'm with that. Now, do y'all give him credit if he fights Ugas next, right? Now, let me tell you this. I wouldn't really give him a whole lot of credit, but if he says, okay, I want to fight Ugas, and Ugas has had a layoff, and Ugas is really wanting to fight, yeah, so be it. He beats Ugas, depending on how he beats Ugas, but, Ugas had a year off, so his orbital bone should be pretty good right now. I don't think Keith can break the orbital bone. I don't know. But Ugas is dead game, bro. Ugas has shown he has a heart of a warrior. So I would like for Ugas to get one tune-up fight in, get his confidence back up. But who knows? Because he wasn't like, hey, I'm done. But when it was over with, his eye, he said his eye bled for like a couple of days, man. You know what I mean? That's traumatic, man. That gives you PTSD. People don't understand that when a fighter gets stopped in the ring, it messes with him mentally. You know what I'm saying? It messes with him mentally a bit. Few can go get knocked out or get stopped and then, don't have that in the next fight. You know what I'm saying? Like Deontay Wilder. The dude, he was in a battle, but the dude just comes on with it, right? Not everybody have that in them, right? Sometimes certain when you take a loss, and Ugas, I'm saying, so Ugas was hurt pretty bad on that Earl Spence fight. So I would like to see that in between time and then let Keith Thurman come in because something's got to go. He said, the mic check said, Ugas, Thurman, and Porter alluded to a return. We might see 147 jumble after the belts become available next year. Oh, woo. You think Porter will come back? I don't know if Porter will ever come back, but Ugas and Thurman, I would look. But this is the thing. League of Legacy, salute. Hey. So, like you said, they alluded to it. You never know. If the money is right, Porter might come back in. You know what I'm saying? Because Porter ain't I think Porter just podcast Porter. He's having fun, celebrity status. He's probably making plenty of money and ain't getting punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? But is the hunger gonna still be there? You know what I mean? Oh, okay. The Mike Chase said in his very last podcast, he mentioned it. Oh, okay, cool. Well, listen, they all could do it. You never know. But like you said, if the money is right, but is the hunger still there? You know what I'm saying? Now, when Crawford fought Sean Porter, it doesn't seem like Sean Porter had that hunger that we saw. If that Sean Porter had showed up, the one that fought Earl Spence, it would have been a hell of a fight between him and Bud. You know what I'm saying? So I would have to see when Sean Porter comes back in the ring. You know what I mean? But Sean Porter is making some money. So plus he's still in the public eye. So you know what? the money right, he might come back, like you said, the Mike Check might come back, and he's still, and it'll be the love of the game that really brings him back. The money is good, but the love of the game might be what really bring him back in, and then we might see the better Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? I guess he feels like I'm not gonna come back and just be a gatekeeper or take pennies. If they give me enough money and it's a decent fight, everything it makes sense, I'll come back. I would love to see Sean Porter back. I would love to see that. You know what I'm saying? Would love to see that. Sean Porter coming back would be good. But my thing is, what is Keith Thurman gonna do? He's here, he's back. He didn't seem to be totally out of shape, but I couldn't really see because his shirt was kind of baggy. But he was talking, man, he saw the crowd. He was like, man, that should be me out there. That's it calling his name. He knows he needs to be out there in that ring. He knows right now he should be one of those guys in the mix-up, and he's just letting talent go to waste. You know what I'm saying? But, or maybe that might be what they working on. You know what I'm saying? That might be what PBC has been working on, because we got Bud, we got Crawford, we got Spence, right? But we also got to figure out what is for Boots, what's for Keith Thurman, what's for Ugas, what's for Rashidi Ellis. We got some other stuff. Oh yeah, they said Boots might be fighting what's his name? That beat Ellis. And they said that's who he be fighting next. 8 Mile said I think Porter held back a little bit with Crawford fight. Crawford is his boy. I think he held back a lot. I think that he wanted to fight Crawford, but I don't think that his mind was in it like it was Spence. So like you said, I think it's a little bit of, if you want to count that as a holdback, that it just wasn't in there to go in there and be vicious towards Roman. Yeah. That's who it is. The Mike Check. They said that's who. That might be who. Boots is fighting, which is better than nothing. I mean, I think it'd be a good fight, but then that show people what because a lot of people got a lot of doubts with Boots. Man, I don't have no doubts with Boots. Boots is still that dude, man. Boots is still that dude. No, he didn't make those adjustments that he should have, but dude had a game plan that he was sticking to, being on his bike, doing this and doing that. But that's a little bit of things that Boots should have done. Boots should have still done what he had to do, because like I said, the 10th, 11th round, one of those rounds in there, he started cutting the ring off and got really effective and went back to it again, right? But at the end of the day, Keith Thurman needs to come in. You know what I'm saying? That's who Keith Thurman should have fought, was Roman Villa. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman needs to come on back and fight somebody. And I don't mean Keith Thurman should be fighting Rashidi Ellis either. You know what I'm saying? None of that. We already done seen the Barrios. We already done seen all this other stuff, man. So it's time for Keith Thurman to come in there and take a good swing at something, man. A real good swing at something. And, like I said, I'm still in my feelings about Keith Thurman. I'm still upset about that. But I hate to see that dude was on top. And then now everybody's looking at Keith Thurman like he's just a has-been or wasn't a good boxer. Keith Thurman was an excellent boxer, man. Keith Thurman was knocking people out. Keith Thurman was a really good boxer. You know what I mean? But somewhere in there, Keith Thurman let that go to his head and start doing dumb stuff, man. I don't know what it was with Keith Thurman wanting to go play flutes, didn't want to go get the proper surgeries and stuff he need, didn't want to do it. That to me made it seem like the money changed him, whereas he didn't have it in his heart no more. And if he doesn't have it in his heart no more, and he's just trying to do a little cash grab, then hey, so be it. You know what I'm saying? But you thinking you're gonna get Spence and Bud, you're not getting them guys. Them guys don't have nothing to gain by fighting Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman ain't Keith Thurman no more. Keith Thurman got to go out there and show that he still got what he had. Because that Barrios fight hurt him. The Barrios fight hurt because a lot of people that wasn't following Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman ain't been Keith Thurman in a long time, but a lot of people that hadn't been following Keith Thurman, they don't know the real old Keith Thurman. They just see the new Keith Thurman, the one that got hit by Josecito Lopez and was staggered a little bit. You know what I mean? Got hit a little bit with him. Then lost to Pacquiao. Then had a problem with Barrios. You know what I'm saying? Not really a problem, but they see Tank stop Barrios, and Keith Thurman couldn't. Now, in all fairness, Barrios was fighting at 140, right? Barrios is a big dude, man. Barrios looks good at 154, right? So he's fighting out at 140, fighting Tank at 140. The dude to me was drained. Barrios seemed to be a little drained to me. You know what I'm saying? Because Barrios a good guy. And I'm not taking them from Tank. So before you guys start that, oh, he's hating on Tank. I ain't hating on Tank. And we're going to call it what it is, right? We're going to call a spade a spade. Barrios was drained down at 140 to fight Tank. Period, point blank. He was drained. Now he took the fight because he liked the name that Tank had, right? But Barrios was drained. Come on now. Do I think that Tank? I give Tank credit for knocking him out. I do. I give Tank that credit, right? But as he goes up in weight, you see it starts changing. You know what I'm saying? You start seeing that he's performing better. It's hard to get him out of there. Y'all know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So that is what it is. 147 is on ice after Spence and Bud. It will have to be to build up again. Nah, I'm not going to say that. The reason why I'm not going to say that, Jarron, is because you still got Boots. You still got Virgil. You still got Stanionis. You still got Ugas. If Ugas can show that, he can get back up on the horse after that Spence fight, right? So give Ugas a tune-up fight, right? Then let him come on out. You know what I'm saying? So you still got some good people, but they need to go mix it up right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis fight is back on, ain't it? Right? So you got them two dudes get ready to solve something out. Then you got Hope. I think that Boots might be fighting Roman Villa from what I heard, right? Still got Blair. Oh my God. Come on, Lee. Come on, Blair to Flair. Oh man. See, that's a fight that's the fight that Keith Thurman would go take. And that's the damn fight Keith Thurman needs to stay away from. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman does not need to be going against no Blair to Flair. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman needs a really good, solid fight. So you get these guys some good, solid fights, and guess what? 147 is still gonna be going. Big dog, salute. Hey, so that's why I say, Jarron, I don't think it's going to be on ice. But while everybody waiting around on Bud and Spence to play out, they need to be mixing it up, bro. They need to be mixing it up. Ugas done. Ortiz got a blood issue. It ain't as deep as it just was. Ellis ain't really nothing at the moment. The dude he fought seems like a beast. Rashidi Ellis. Listen, I had Rashidi Ellis winning that fight. You know what I'm saying? Rashidi Ellis beat Roman Villa to me. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. I think Roman Villa closed the show a little bit better towards the end rounds, but I had Rashidi Ellis up top. But Rashidi Ellis ain't got no power, man. He's not going to do anything. But you still got Thurman. Man, Thurman can fight, man. Thurman can fight. Thurman can flat out fight. Let's go Boots versus Thurman. But Thurman ducking is the problem. Yep. Yeah, it's good, but Thurman ducking the problem. Yeah, he is. Ortiz to fight Stanionis, he ain't done. Yeah. Ortiz going to fight Stanionis. As soon as he fights Stanionis, the winner of that. Yeah. Ellis was thrown in clouds on skates. Barrios had a rehydration clause versus Tank too. Yeah. Yeah, so there you have it. So it proves the point. Barrios was, he was weight drained. He was drained. You know what I'm saying? But he accepted the fight. But I'm just saying, it still hurt somebody like Keith Thurman because you look at it like Tank stopped him and Keith Thurman didn't really stop him. You know what I'm saying? And he hurt Keith to the body, Said once Bud and Spence, 147 will be back on fire with titles changing hands. Yeah, hey, yeah, but guess what? While these other guys out there, they could be mixing it up right now. But we're going not Barrios, but you got Virgil and Stanionis. They great play that one out. Keith needs to get back in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday back in the mix. You know what I'm saying? And if Boots goes in there and starts Roman Villa, then that's going to be a situation right there. Because then Boots, they're going to be like, well, Boots going to have a dance partner. He going to need a dance partner, And Keith needs to be taking a tune-up right in the meantime. Keith needs to get in there and take a tune-up. And I want to see where Ugas is. I got to see where Ugas is. I got to see where Ugas is. Boxing has hits his bubble. Thurman late to getting the money he could have gotten a few years ago. Yep. Yeah, Jarron. Yeah. Thurman late to getting the money. Yeah, some of that money he could have got a few years back. Thurman played around, played some games, but Thurman can get back to the money. What Thurman can do is, if Thurman right now goes out there and takes a decent fight, right? A decent fight, shows, hurry up, stops the guy, and his next fight is Boots. Boots wants Thurman's name. He wants to stop Thurman. If he could stop Thurman, you know what that'll do for Boots' career? And if Thurman goes in there and whoever he's with, he stops the next dude, and then him and Boots fight, that's going to be a pretty decent money fight because Showtime is backing it. So they're going to make a pretty good money. You know what I'm saying? You know? And then you got the winner of Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis. That's coming up, you know? So you could fight. Keith Thurman could literally, 154 can explode. Yeah, it could. Because Stretch Armstrong is gonna be right back out there. You know what I mean? After he done got beat, he got knocked out. He'll be back. So yeah, 154 gonna be good, but right now 147 is on fire if they go ahead and let these hands fly. You know what I'm saying? And Keith is one of the problems at 147. You know what I'm saying? 147, Keith is a problem. And the reason why I say he's the problem, because he could be in there mixing something up right now and I already have a fight coming on. If Keith go ahead and take a fight. But I don't know. Where does Rashidi Ellis go after this, too? I think Rashidi Ellis needs to go down to 140. If he could make 140, he'd be right at 140. But I think that 147, man, 147 got a lot left. It's got a lot left. If Thurman, Spence, Bud, Charlo, Tim, Danny, and several others hit 154, yeah, but Charlo going to be out of there. Charlo ain't going to stick around for that. Charlo needs to go ahead and move up. And Thurman said he's not moving 154. Thurman said he's going to stay at 147, so Thurman said he's comfortable at 147. He wants to stay right where he is. And 147 is a really good division, man. It always has been. 147 has always been a good division to make money, too. I mean, with Charlo beating at 54, yeah. Charlo gonna have to go on up. Charlo gonna have to go on up. What'd be nice is if with Charlo calling out Canelo takes that fight. Now that'd be awesome. You know what I'm saying? But said that I know they was asking Spence about it. Spence said that he heard that Canelo said he can't make 160. He gonna stay at 168. And Spence said, man, I wouldn't go over 160. So there's no way for them to fight. So I don't see Charlo going up to 168 just to fight Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? I'm not Keith Thurman to fight Canelo. Said Thurman scared. Yeah, I don't know what Thurman problem is, bro. I don't know what Thurman problem is. Maybe Thurman just trying to cash out. Canelo ain't going in now. Yeah. Canelo ain't coming down to 160 fight Charlo. But it'd be good if they could fight. Either one of them, you know what I mean? Jamel or Jamal. But hey, 147 has a lot of good paydays left in it, bro. 147's got a lot of good paydays if they match them right. But and I say if, because you know they can do it right. But PBC has been showing out this whole year, bro. PBC has been showing all of us something good this whole year. I take my hat off to PBC, man. They have really put their foot down and they giving us the fights we want to see. Thurman wants good money and less work. Yeah. You're right. You can't blame him. Yeah, you're right. Thurman definitely wants good money and less work. Right. But the best payday he gonna get is with right now is with Boots. He get a nice little payday with Boots. He get all right. Or if he fights the winner of Virgil and Stanionis, he wait for that one and fight them and beat one of them, and he get a good payday for that one. And he'll get his respect back. You know what I'm saying? He get a little respect. Now, Keith Thurman, I already get to do respect because I know he can fight. You know what I'm saying? I know the ring rust and some of the stuff he's been doing. I don't, but his heart got to be in it. You know, I mean, that's the only thing I haven't really 100% seen yet, because Keith seemed like when he got ready to fight his last fight, Keith was in really good shape. He looked good and everything, but it was like, okay, he had a lot of ring rust, so shake the ring rust off. But then he turns right around and didn't go pursue another fight. He's still just waiting on Spence. And it's like, dude, you're not getting Spence. Spence already said that. Spence don't want to give Keith Thurman a payday at all. For whatever else that went on that that Spence and Thurman undone behind closed doors, whatever them been said, Spence is really on his he's sitting on that, man. He's standing on that square. Because I think it's a lot more to it than just Keith not wanting to fight him, just like, oh, well, if he go get a belt. It had to be a little bit more than that because he's got a real problem with that. And it's a lot of people told Spence, well, they didn't just jump. Because look at Porter. Porter didn't take the first fight with Spence. Because you remember when Spence came in the ring, said we can make that fight happen. And Porter's like, yeah, but we got. Then right after that, he said he's got to take his mandatory. His mandatory was Ugas. And Ugas I think Ugas beat Sean Porter the first fight. But guess what? Sean Porter was trying to outbox Ugas. Instead of being Sean Porter that goes in there and be rough and rugged Sean Porter, he didn't do that. Every time Sean Porter is not the real 100% Sean Porter, he suffers. But when he goes in there and he's in there playing football, brawling, then Sean Porter does a whole lot better. Thurman must be dating Erykah Badu. Why you say that? Why you say that? Why you say that, 8 Mile? But yeah, I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling you. Keith Thurman needs to get in there and fight. He needs to. He needs to. Not only for him, but for all of us. Because we want to keep this thing going. I don't want to just see Spence and Crawford playing out. They might have 2 fights in a row. But then guess what it does? It leaves Ennis sitting there waiting. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe, Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis, maybe they'll get it on. Maybe, I don't know. But it seems like, you remember Virgil Ortiz seemed like he didn't want that fight with Boots because they was like, maybe they can fight later on for a belt. But they need to fight each other to get to that belt. That's for the string. He went that way. Yeah. That's the string more fit that way. Yeah, you're right. You're dead right. And he didn't fight Crawford like that. He actually was doing pretty good with Crawford in the beginning, but he wasn't fighting like the Sean Porter that was pissed off at Errol Spence. That version of Sean Porter that fought Errol Spence would give anybody hell at 147 because he was mentally there too. You know what I'm saying? But now, let me say this. You guys heard me say this before, and I got to say it. I got to say it. That version of Sean Porter was the best version of Sean Porter I've ever seen. But that was not the best version of Errol Spence that I've ever seen. And I'm just going to be honest with you. So Sean Porter did good. He did a really good job against Errol Spence, who had a fat camp, He did real good to an Errol Spence that wasn't really training seriously. He didn't have Blu-ray, and he did a fat camp. Said Thurman must be dating Erykah Badu. So everybody she dates go soft. Hey, you could be right. You could be right. Hey, or he around Alicia Baumgartner with her fine, but he said Porter was his best against Keith Thurman and Earl. Yeah. But I think he was a little bit better with Earl, though. He seemed to be a little bit more in tune with Earl, though. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. I think that mentally, Sean Porter looked a little bit more because it was a little bad blood with him and Earl, because Earl said he was a dirty fighter and that he fights like he's swimming. But you're right. The mic check. You're right. Both of them was really good versions of Sean Porter. But I think the version with Earl was a little bit better. And I think that version, if he had fought Bud the same way, man, Bud would have caught hell. He wouldn't have stopped Sean Porter like that at that round where his dad threw in the towel. That wouldn't have happened. Yeah, that was an Earl that wanted to prove a point no matter what. Yeah, League of Legends. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Earl got in there trying to prove a point and trying to brawl with Sean Porter, but wasn't even ready to brawl. Now, if he had Blu-ray in his corner and didn't do a fat camp, it would have been an even better bout. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Kell Brook Earl Spence and the Ugas Earl Spence was 2 good versions of Earl Spence. That was the good version of Earl Spence. Now, let me break that down. The one that fought Kell Brook was a good version of Earl Spence, but that's before he won the belt. Like they say, any fighter that wins the championship belt, they come 30% better. They mentally start believing more. They get a little bit more money. They trainers, they take a little, it changes them. It changes them. It changes them a little bit, right? And I do believe that. I believe that these boxers, when they do win a title, they do become better. They do carry themselves better. They do a lot. They do that champion stuff, right? I agree with that, right? So Kell Brook was okay, but I think by the time, on down the road, I think the one with Ugas is a better version of Earl. Smart, and he was in shape and all that. He had, did all that stuff. But I think that it was a little bit of ring rust in there because Earl took off a little long. Tune, salute. I can't wait till Taylor versus T.O. I can't either, but I don't think T.O. is going to beat Taylor. My parlay at the moment looking sweet. Oh, is it? You picked a parlay on it? Yeah, I don't think T.O. beats Taylor at all. I don't. Josh Taylor gets him. Takes him on down through there. But yeah, man. So hopefully, like we all saying, hopefully that these other guys kick in gear and they just don't wait for this Crawford and Spence thing to play out. Because that thing could play out for 3 fights. It could. I don't think it's going to go 3 fights. I don't. I think it's going to go. I think we're going to have a rematch. And I think if that rematch is over, I think that'll probably be it. Because they're going to take a lot out of each other, dog. It is going to be hard to beat Terrence Crawford twice. It'll be hard to beat Earl Spence twice. That's going to be hard as hell. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has ever beat either one of them dudes. And for that means they got to beat each other twice. So, yeah, you're right. It might be a third. But I think that they're going to go through so much punishment. It could possibly be. Listen, man, that's going to be a war, man. That's a hell of a war, bro. Spence and Bud is going to be a hell of a war, man. And, I think it was Adrian Broner said, I think that fight might go to a trilogy and then they both retire afterwards. If they fight 3 times, they're going to have to retire, bro. It's not going to be nothing. If that fight goes 3 times with them, I don't think it's going to be enough left for them two dudes to carry on to nothing else, But Bud said he going to beat Spence and move to 154 and come back down and get boots if he have to. But he's going to beat Earl and go to 154. That's a tall order, bro. You got to beat Spence twice. If you beat Spence twice and go up there and beat Charlo, then I'm going to put Bud down as one of the best fighters. I ain't going to say the best, but he's going to be a top fighter in history, man. He going to go down in the books. He going to go way down in the books on that one, bro. If he beats Spence twice, goes up and beats Charlo, 3-time undisputed, oh, my God. 18-leg parlay to win $212,000. Woo! Woo! To win $212,000. Oh, man. He said, I got the Nuggets winning the chip and a few boxing and MMA fight. Only one I'm worried about is Spence versus Bud. I bet on Spence. Woo! That's a hell of a parlay, bro. That's a hell of a parlay. Oh, my goodness. That's a hell of one, bro. If you can pull that one off, yeah, but Bud and Spence, that scares me too, bro. I got Spence. Listen, I'm giving Spence the nod. I say it's a 50-50 fight, but I'm really saying it's a 51-49. I still give a 1 point towards Spence. He said Bud isn't beating Spence once. He's been giving Spence bulletin board material in droves. Yeah, that's a tall order, though. Beating Spence once is a tall order. Beating him twice is a hell of an order. And with Derrick James too, man. I listen, bro. I am so excited. I'm happy the way it's all playing out now. I'm happy that they done it. And I like Crawford is starting to do more and more better interviews. He was on there with $1 million game with Gilly the Kid. And Crawford was just being Crawford. He let them ask questions. He answered them. I mean, they brought it up. They even called Boise Ennis on there. He talked, and they said, yeah, we want that fight. And Crawford's like, when y'all want it? You know what I mean? And they even said that you know, all that Blue hit him up and said I could get that fight for you. And then they talked to Steven Espinosa and Desmond and all them. They was talking about it, and all of a sudden it went away. And then Boots called in, and Boots talked to Crawford, and Crawford said, when did you want to fight? You know, all this other stuff. But it was good to see Crawford. And then Crawford was like, look, you know, I got no problem with fighting Boots, but after I beat Spence, I'm going to go get Charlo for running his mouth. And they said, well, how did that start? He said, well, it started because me and Charlo used to be cool. But then if you going to go for Spence because that's your man's, that's cool. But when you sit there talking about Spence going to knock me out and you doing all this other rah stuff, he said, that's kind of femaleish. And I think you jocking him. So with that being said, I got to see him. And he said, now if he did it like Adrian Broner said, look, Spence is my man. I know y'all gonna have a thing, but I'm rocking with my man. Crawford said, I can handle that. But all that cheering on, he gonna knock you out and being all in the public. He said, AB told me to my face, I think Spence gonna beat you. Said Crawford was contradicting himself left and right. Yep. Hey. But you know, I'm loving it. What's going on? He's vocal. He said, I don't understand how Bud is first ballot Hall of Fame. I scrolled through his resume. Honestly, it's kind of weak. To be honest, Khan and Brook was passed, and Horn, a C-level fighter, and the last guys was trash. 140 was weak too. Hey, Toon, this is it. I don't think Crawford is the first ballot Hall of Famer right now. I don't. Not right now, I don't. I think that he could get in on the Hall of Fame, but I don't think he's first ballot. I don't. Because I still question the same thing everybody else questioned. Now, with him fighting Spence, listen, these two dudes going to war, and they make it a really knockdown, drag out war right here, then they both going to the Hall of Fame. If this fight lives up to what we think it is, they both going to the Hall of Fame. He said that man had the nerve to ask who did Danny beat at 147. 135 was weak too. Yep. Yeah, he did say that. He said, hey, oh yeah, I forgot. They even called Danny on the phone. But what Danny said, I believe I beat he's but listen, y'all know how I feel about the Crawford thing. But Crawford had a point about the Danny thing. He said that Danny was wrecking stuff at 140, but at 147, who did he beat? And if you look at what Danny has done, it was Danny said he felt like he beat Keith Thurman. But like Crawford said, yeah, you might have felt like you won, but you didn't beat him. On paper, you didn't beat him. You didn't beat Sean Porter on paper. You didn't beat Earl Spence. So what big name did you get at 147 that says you the top dog at 147? Crawford did have a point there. Bud had a point there. And Bud doesn't have the best resume either. You know what I mean? He don't. I agree with you, 8 Mile, on that. Rewatch Bud versus Mean Machine. He fought tough. Yeah, Bud is a beast, man. Bud is a beast. Toon said Mean Machine is a C-level fighter at best, though. Yeah, but the thing I like about Crawford, any competition that Crawford's got at 147, he stopped him. He stopped everybody. Yeah. Now listen. I really don't give him a lot of credit for the Sean Porter one, but I give him credit for the Sean Porter one because he literally stopped Sean Porter because they threw in the towel. So that's technical. It's a technical TKO, right? But was it the real Sean Porter? It wasn't. But he didn't make Sean Porter do that. Sean Porter did that on his own. You know what I'm saying? All right, hold on.
Legal legacies.
To accept, press 1.
Showboat Sports, your own league. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you, bro?
Man, I'm doing just fine. Do me a favor. Your stuff in the background echoing a little bit. Can you turn down just a hair? And I'm
echoing?
Yeah, it was. I could hear myself echoing a little bit, but you're perfect now. And I'm giving everybody as a disclaimer that calls in, man, please, y'all, help me out on the profanity. No profanity on this, man, because I'm only making pennies and they try and take half my penny, man. But you own, man. You own. It's your thing. It's yours.
Man, I had to call in about that, man, because like, yeah, you could say he had a point, but he can't make that point because he fall under the same exact thing.
Yeah, he does.
I would actually say you could. He was saying that about Danny, but if you switch their resumes, Danny would be undefeated. And can you say Crawford would have won those fights that Danny lost?
You can't really say that. So they both walked the right road, but he had a point. But you're right. You can turn it back on Bud. That goes right back on Bud too.
Right. That's why I say he can't say that.
Right. Right. I agree with you.
Like, yeah, man. I can't. I had to call in for that, man. Because you my boy. I can't let you put yourself out there like that, man.
No, but listen, I'm not saying that Crawford hasn't walked that road, but he had a point with you got to give it to him. All the fights with Danny with a big name at 147, Danny lost.
But Danny was fighting champion. He was fighting tough fights.
I agree. But the point is,
so
who did he beat to say he's top 5 welterweight? That he's got a big name. You know what I'm saying?
You know, a lot of people give Porter a lot of credit because of the fights he took, not necessarily that he won all of them.
I agree.
So I would say I would give Danny a bigger edge, especially against everyone that Crawford fought at 147. Just on that fact alone, that he actually went and faced the tougher competition, and those fights were close. It wasn't like he got mopped. Because when you look at, man, look what Crawford, what I had with Crawford and Benavidez after getting shot in the leg. So remember now when he wanted to pull out that I fought the better Kell Brooks, you know, because he had just gotten all that nonsense he was spitting.
That was nonsense.
But
that was nonsense.
He went and fought Benavidez, and Benavidez got shot in the leg. And then Danny mollywopped him after he had so that's what I'm saying. Like, he just, I mean, he's doing what he got to do to make himself look good and to fit into how he think of himself. I'm just saying, keep it a buck.
No, listen. I got one even better than that. I got one. No, I got one even better than that, bro. Danny fights everybody that Crawford fought at 147. Danny gonna come victorious, or all of them too. There's nobody on Crawford's resume at 147 could beat Danny, but he does have a point. Who did Danny beat? Because that was his point. Who did Danny beat? And Danny is arguably.
Danny could have said, "Who did you fight?"
Because Danny beats Mean Machine. Danny beats Mean Machine. He definitely beats Mean Machine. He already showed he beat Benavidez. And you know what? Benavidez looked better with Danny than he did with Crawford because he didn't. Yeah, like his knee wouldn't affect him that much with Danny.
Right, because he wasn't just shot in the leg.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
You can even say at 140. At 140, everyone that Crawford fought, Danny would have beat them too. Yeah,
definitely. And he had just came through there right before Crawford. So if his time was back, he would have been undisputed at 142. But like I said, Crawford had a point, technically, but you know, technical point. It's technical. You gotta give me that. That's technically right. You know.
I give it to you like this. You can say that. Crawford can't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Crawford don't have it right.
Real quick, because you know me. Yeah, exactly. you know I like to put my stuff out there. I didn't get the chance to jump on Teams live, but last time I was on there, I said Heat and 5. I was talking all kind of noise. We still won, but I was wrong. So I'm just gonna say I was wrong, and I'm gonna let you get back on Crawford. But I have to go ahead and put that out there too.
All right, cool, man. Yeah.
Wait, you was breaking up? What is that?
I said cool. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, man. Catch you back in the chat. All right, later. So yeah, man. Said Porter beat Danny, Showboat. You think Porter beat Danny? He said, what you mean Machine did since that fight? Danny lost to Porter, though. Porter? And he says, Porter beat Danny show. Yeah, Porter did beat Danny. Porter beat Danny. Porter beat Danny. Listen, everybody beat Danny. But it was listen. When I say people beat Danny, it was really close, man. It was really close. And Danny didn't do horrible against Spence at all either. You know what I mean? But Spence wasn't the Spence. You know what I mean? Spence still was a little bit off. You know, he still beat that. But Porter, hey, listen, Porter's a beast. My problem with Porter is not taking that Crawford fight to him serious. That's my problem with Porter. And me Machine ain't done nothing. Listen, I agree. Listen, I'm not taking up for Crawford saying that he's had the hard competition. Crawford, listen, everybody on PBC has been harder, but I'm saying Crawford does have a point. I give him a point for that, right? I'm not saying he's 100% correct, but you know, these guys, they all fought each other. And Porter, I mean, so he said, well, if Danny has lost to everybody, how big is Danny, right? Then he says, because this is his argument. This is his argument. Porter beat Danny. I beat Porter. I didn't just beat Porter. I stopped Porter. And this is my problem with that. That version of Porter, I think Danny would have beat that version of Porter. Spence definitely would have beat that version of Porter, which he already beat a harder version of Porter, right? So when he says that, he's technically right. He stopped Porter, but that wasn't the real Porter. That wasn't the real Porter, man. So Crawford stops Porter. He has a point, but we all boxing fans, we all know that was podcast Porter. That wasn't the Porter that fought Keith Thurman or the Porter that fought. Hell, that might not even be the Porter that fought Danny. So Porter didn't have that eye of the tiger when he fought Bud like he did everybody else. But Bud has a point. He beat him. You know? I mean, he beat him. He technically stopped him. So everybody's going off of it. I don't give him credit for that beating that Porter. But, you know, everybody else is like, oh, well, he technically stopped him. Like, he stopped that version of Porter. You know what I'm saying? But do I think he's going to do it at Spence? Hell no, I don't think he's going to do it at Spence. Because Spence ain't going there to lay down. And I think that because Bud hadn't fought all those guys, and those guys fought each other, I think that they're going to be more vetted. Spence is going to be more vetted. Yeah, Porter's father stopped Porter. Yeah, you're right. You're right, 8 Mile. Porter's father stopped Porter. And Porter's sitting there beating on the ring. You know what I'm saying? On the canvas. Porter beating on the canvas. That just didn't show good to me, man. You know what I mean? Porter's head wasn't all the way into that fight, man. But Terrence got a point. Because what can we say? We said we wanted to fight Porter. And I kept saying it. If he fights Porter, it's going to show us what he can do. If he gets past Porter, I give him some credit. He beat Porter, but I don't give him the Porter credit. I can't give Bud the Porter credit for beating Porter, that version of Porter. I can't do it. I can't give him the credit he deserves. He has a point. He beat him. He also has a point. He stopped him. But was it really that? Just like that version of Sean Porter that fought Earl, he didn't fight the best Earl. And I'm not taking nothing away from Sean Porter because that's one of the best fights I ever seen. That's the best Sean Porter I done seen. Sean Porter did a great job fighting Earl. And I had Earl winning that fight even without the knockdown. You know, a lot of people say it was the knockdown that separated, that put him over the top. I already had him. If it wasn't for the knockdown and Earl won that round, I still thought Earl beat Porter. I had him beating Porter. You know what I'm saying? I had Earl beating him without knocking him down. That's just me. You know what I mean? And I mean, y'all might feel the way y'all feel about that. You know what I'm saying? But I like that version of Porter. But like I said, that version of Porter should have fought Crawford. And I'd be happy about that. You know? But at the end of the day, Crawford went ahead and took this fight, which I thought he was gonna keep playing, but he took this fight. So at the end of the day, the hardest fight out of all of them, Crawford has taken. So that's it. That is it. You know what I'm saying? Crawford has taken the fight. Listen, if Crawford had took Danny and like I hadn't fought Spence, we'd still be saying Spence. So Spence has shown he's better than Danny. He's better than Sean Porter. He's better than Ugas. So, and to me, I think Earl is better than the Keith Thurman. I think. You know what I'm saying? You don't know until they have fought, but I think he's better. You know what I'm saying? So with Bud fighting this version of Spence right here that we know, that I'm okay with that. I give Bud credit for beating who's in front of him. I just don't see the monster others see. If you only fight who you're supposed to dominate, I can't gauge the greatness. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Listen. I agree with you on that. I think Bud is a beast. I do. I really do. Because I think that with the people he's fighting, a person like him is supposed to do what he does. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he beat all those dudes where they all came in and he just won, I wouldn't say he's a beast. But for stopping all of them, I give him credit. I give him credit for stopping them because he stopped them. It didn't make it to the scorecard. It's just like Karen. Boot should have stopped Karen. Karen should have never saw those scorecards. You know what I'm saying? You don't see the scorecards with a Karen. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Spence been on top of his game, you don't see nobody make it to the end with Spence. Spence choose them alive. You know what I'm saying? But Spence did let Mikey make it. But to me, everybody argues it. But Spence wasn't trying to stop Mikey Garcia. He was trying to outbox him. But a lot of people, he didn't stop Mikey. That's their stuff. I can't agree with that because Spence's game plan wasn't to go take to Mikey's body and stop Mikey. Spence threw over 1,000 punches because he was just trying to show everybody he can box, which came back to bite him in the butt. See, that's the thing. You got to go out there and do what it takes to win. You can't go please the crowd because the crowd is going to always have something different to say. Because Spence didn't stop Mikey Garcia, who was a smaller fighter that called him out, they go, oh well, Spence ain't good. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi Elliott, salute. He said, I feel like the Porter fight was something strategic. Bud and Porter was besties. Porter was on the way out. Anyway, that was to make Bud look good for the future fight with Spence. Porter won't even hurt. Wouldn't even hurt. Yeah, Porter wouldn't hurt. Porter wouldn't hurt. I agree with you. Porter wouldn't hurt at all. And his dad threw that towel in prematurely. Talking about, what Bud was going to do to him. Well, if you felt like Bud was going to do something to him, you should have never had him in there. You know what I'm saying? That fight was stopped way too early. League said, wait, let me give you credit. Tune in the super chat. Appreciate you, Tune. Appreciate you, Tune. Thanks for supporting the channel, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. But let me see what he said. See, I don't see Porter moving like that. He had incredible footwork, though. That makes a huge difference. Man, but let me see. Thank you, Charlotte. Is there something I'm missing on here? Oh, okay. Something just popped up on her. Hold on. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Okay, cool. He said his daddy moved like that, though. Won't like Porter quit his daddy, threw in the towel. wasn't like, yeah, you don't think Porter quit is like his dad threw him down. But I think that they was on the same, I think they was on the same page. Porter and his dad was on the same page on that fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Porter was upset, but he knew his dad was a chance his dad was gonna stop the fight. You know what I'm saying? And Porter hadn't taken that his dad said that Sean didn't take the training camp serious. He said he wasn't getting out of that training camp that Sean Porter was supposed to be putting in. So that's why I say we can say that Bud stopped Sean Porter, but what version of Sean Porter? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the best version of Sean Porter. It just wasn't. But I can say this. That regardless of all of that, Bud has chosen to fight the one we deem as the best out of all of them. You know what I'm saying? So now, if Bud gets past that, you know what I'm saying? There's a thing. If Bud gets past Spence, then Bud gets all the credit. Because now we don't have to say, oh, we're the best to whoever else come out and do this and all that. They got to fight. And if Spence loses, then Spence can activate that clause, that rematch clause, right? So that means he's technically got to beat Spence twice. And if he can beat Spence twice where these other guys fall short, then I give Bud credit. You know what I'm saying? I give Bud credit. But also, I'm going to give Spence credit for if he stops Bud, because Bud is a good fighter, man. I know y'all saying, I know League of Legacy, like you just don't see it, but Bud is a beast, man. I see that. I think Bud passes listen, I think Bud's got it. But I haven't seen, and I'll admit, I have not seen somebody in there that I thought that Crawford earns exactly what everybody's giving him. I haven't seen that yet. Because the one person that I thought that would show what Bud is made of, Sean Porter didn't show up. The real Sean Porter didn't show up. Podcast Porter showed up. You know what I mean? Not the Porter. So what can we say? You know what I mean? But Bud went ahead and took this fight. So I'm like, man, you know, I just don't want nobody. And let me say this. I just don't want nobody to take nothing away from Spence. If Spence stops Bud, beats Bud, right? And y'all know I'm giving a nod to that. If Gamboa giving Bud Bambi legs, Spence going to flatline. Said Bud too small. Toon said Bud is too small. And Gamboa is giving Bud Bambi legs. That's crazy. So that's it. But I want listen though. Listen. Hey, what did they say? They asked Crawford said, yeah, I think everybody been hurt once, twice, but what happens right after that? Yeah. So, but it's cool. Everybody done took something. Everybody done got hit a little bit, Toon. Come on now. Everybody done been hit a little bit. He said, and Mel knocks him out in 5. I'll bet anybody. Toon said he stands on that one. He gon' listen. Yeah, he said he stands on that. Shots fired. He said, and Mel knocks him out in 5 rounds. And he's talking about Jermell Charlo will knock out Bud Crawford in 5 rounds. And he said he'll put a bet on anything on that one. I think Bud is capable of it. I just haven't seen him prove it. A lot of praise for Bud originating from how he did Bradley in sparring sessions. Yeah. But listen, when Bud moved up, he stopped everybody though. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get weaker as he went up. And he did okay with Jeff. I mean, he did good what he's supposed to do with Jeff Horn. You know what I mean? Because Jeff Horn was Jeff Horn. You know what I'm saying? I never thought Jeff Horn was all of that. You know what I mean? So, you know how that goes. Y'all know how that goes. So, that's it. I'm just saying, man. My point is this, though. This is the thing. We got to look at it like this. Bud has made his way from 135 to 147, right? And now that he's at 147, I can say this. Brian S. Salute. We got to give him credit that For the people that he's supposed to beat, he stopped them. So they robbed Manny to feed Bud to Jeff Horn. I mean, feed Jeff Horn and Bud. Yeah. Yeah, they robbed Manny on that one, man. Let me see. Toon said, it's okay if you stopping people, but it's the caliber of fighters you fighting too. That's a big thing. That's a big thing, Toon. It is. It's a big thing. But when you like, okay, and the reason why I say that is like, think about this. If that's the case, Boost should have stopped Karen too. Karen should have been stopped by Boost. You know what I'm saying? He said, who you fought, Daddy? I beat Jeff Horn. He ain't stopping no Ugas, no Danny, no Prime Porter, no Prime Kale or Khan. These people were shot. Oh, you think all of them were shot? Yeah, y'all gotta say something better than that, though. Kale and Khan was 1 foot and 1 out. He said Kale and Khan was 1 foot, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Oh, y'all think they both was that? Listen, I agree with y'all on that. Khan didn't have nothing. Khan quit. And Kell Brooks was, listen. I agree with you on that. Khan and Kell Brook wasn't where they supposed to be on that one, bro. Khan and Kell Brook, because Kell Brook really, I know Bud said that he had like a win streak, but that's it. They picked them 2 dudes too late. I agree with y'all on that. They picked them dudes too late, man. They did. Because Amir Khan was a shell of itself. Yeah, Karen was fighting not to get knocked out. He was. But I agree with you, 8 Mile, on that. But he still should have cut the ring off and stopped that dude. You know what I'm saying? Boost is a really good fighter, man. He should have cut that ring off. Went to the body, slowed him down, made him exchange, you know what I'm saying? And hurt him a little bit. Boost had that in him to get Karen at her. Yeah, but Karen was on that bicycle. He was, but that's when you make adjustments and you walk him down. You got to be able to do that. Because this is the problem, 8 Mile. If you're fighting somebody like Keith Thurman, and let's say Keith Thurman gets ahead of you on the scorecards in the beginning of the fight. Sean Porter said this best. Keith Thurman is the type of guy that will win a few rounds and then get on his bike and say, catch me if you can. And what you going to do about that? You got to do something about that. You got to show that you can make those adjustments. Said Kel had 2 broken eye sockets, and he hopped up on coke right now, and Khan was moving down from Canelo. Oh, too. You can say he was all up on that coke. Yeah. Hey, but I agree with you. You can't really give Bud credit for beating them 2 dudes, though. You really can't. Said he was headhunting. Hopefully he learns from mistake. Yeah, he should have went to the bottom. He should have made those adjustments. He said Karen had that ninja footwork. His training camp was deep in the Himalayas. hey, Lee. He wasn't going for that, bro. Thurman takes a tune-up and waits for a big fight. Hey, Thurman needs to go fight, take a tune-up and go fight one of them dudes, bro. He need to go take a tune-up and go fight Jarron or somebody. Ugas needs a tune-up and Keith Thurman needs a tune-up, right? I think Ugas really needs a tune-up. Not Keith Thurman can just go on in there with Staniosis to me or Virgil. You know what I mean? He keeps saying he wants it. He said he saw him jumping rope and thought he was gonna get slaughtered. Thurman's still the WBC mandatory #1. Yeah, and ain't fighting nobody. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Keith Thurman is just sitting there waiting for a payday. And you know what? I've taken up for Keith Thurman a lot. I keep saying that Keith Thurman is not that dude. I'm like, Keith Thurman is still a good deadly fighter, man. He's a really good fighter, but Keith ain't proving it, man. He's making everybody look bad, man. Well, all the people that knows where he came from, the people that knows boxing, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people that don't know about how good Thurman was. Boots versus Thurman, yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be a real good one. Said no, he doesn't. Nope, Thurman is number one. Ah, man, Thurman needs to go fight Boots, man. Period. Yeah. Thurman likes to get on his bike. Yeah. Hey, Thurman will run. And you got to think, if Thurman gets ahead and runs from Boots, what is Boots going to do? Because Thurman is a way much better fighter than Karen. That's why I said that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I like Jaron Ennis. Y'all know I like Jaron Ennis. A lot of people like Jaron Ennis. I'm not saying nothing that nobody else said, right? But when you in there with them type of fighters like Karen and all them other fighters, Crawford stopped them dudes. He stopped them. Nobody made it to the scorecards. And that's what he's supposed to do. But that's what a good fighter is supposed to do anyway. A good fighter is supposed to stop them fighters like that. They're supposed to stop them. And he stopped them. So I do give Crawford credit on that. And his competition wasn't all that. Bro. I agree with that. His competition wasn't all that. Say, find some stiff for Thurman. Live or dead, Thurman gets his payday. Hey, Thurman, listen, Thurman thinks he's going to get the ultimate payday with Spence and Crawford. But maybe in his head, he think he can beat them dudes. These other dudes are under him. Too far on him. Oh, my goodness. Uh-oh, y'all. Let me take this one slow. Shots fired. Toon just said Jaron Ennis is overrated at the moment. To say he beat Crawford or Spence at this moment is ridiculous. The man ain't fought a soul. Oh, my. Well, you know what? I'm going to say this, Toon. I will give you that you say to say he beats those two guys at the moment is ridiculous. I don't think he beat Spencer Crawford with that performance. I saw some green in him. You know what I mean? I saw a little bit of amateur. That was a little bit of amateur in it. But Karen, in all fairness, wasn't trying to fight. He wasn't trying to engage, right? He wasn't trying to engage as much, or he got stopped. So he knew that, right? But so I agree with you on that. But if you say, I ain't gonna say he's overrated. Toon. He said Karen was rated 4th, though. We might not have known him, but he was a higher rank than David Ortiz. He won't fight them the same. Yeah, no, he won't fight them the same. Yeah. Better if the opponent is actually a dead guy. Keith Thurman gets paid. Yeah, Keith Thurman looking for an easy payday, it seems like, right? Because my thing is this. If Keith Thurman hungry and want to get back, he should be calling that Jaron Ennis. He should be calling that Virgil Ortiz to go and knock them on down. Because WBC got Keith Thurman as number one, right? If he's ranked number one, guess what? You still need to go and prove yourself while you waiting. Get them other two guys out of there. Because that's the problem. He said Crawford has the opportunity to prove me wrong and show me that he's him. Yeah, props to him for accepting the fight. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Props to Crawford for accepting the fight. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just say this. This is what I say. Being with Top Rank, Crawford could have left Top Rank a long time ago and got into the mix of everything, right? He could have. But, and all the hesitation that went on, right? But he finally stepped up to the plate and got it. And now he's still looking like, hey, I'm going to take Spence out. So we're going to find out. Toon said, I'll take it back. He's overhyped to me. He has the skills. He passes the eye test, but I need to see him with better competition. I say Tank the best at 135. They got to fight the top guys, right? Yeah, Yeah, I agree with you on that one too. Yeah. So we agree with that. Yeah. Jaron Ennis passes the eye test, but he's got to go ahead and fight somebody with some better skills because it's time. Even though he's trying, he still haven't had it. Yeah. AAR is going in with Keith on a payday, huh? He going in on that. Yeah. But that's what I want to see, though. I want to see Keith. Listen, I hate to be going back and forth with people talking about how good Keith Thurman is, and Keith Thurman ain't even proven how good he is. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman won't go in there and say, okay, that Barrios fight, come on, Keith. Keith made himself look bad, so he might as well take a bigger name this time. Keith Thurman got to fight somebody with a big name, bro. He's got to. He's got to fight somebody with some pull. Thurman versus Blair Cobbs. Oh, please, Brian, don't say that, bro. Don't say that, man. Not Blair Cobbs. Blair Cobbs ain't on Keith. Keith Thurman don't need to fight no Blair Cobbs, man. If you try to say what AAR is saying, they just need to bring somebody in that Keith Thurman can just punish and make a quick payday for. So yeah, you're right. He can take Blair Cobbs and beat Blair Cobbs. He said Boots and Virgil is a 50-50 fight. In my opinion, maybe even Gary Antoine. You think Devin and Ennis will ever meet down the road? I'm sure Devin's going to 154 in his career. Devin and Ennis, nah. I don't know. Ennis is a big dude. Ennis gonna be 160 something easy. He gonna go from 147 to 154 and one up to 160. Hell, he might get to 168. Ennis is a big dude, man. He's big. Said Ennis can fight Romanville. That's what they're saying. I'm hearing that Ennis might be fighting Roman. That's what I'm hearing. Say that press run be crazy. Yeah, but you know what? Ain't nobody. But you know what, man? Everybody know Blair Cobbs is just really just a little. He's an okay fighter, but he's not no top 10. He's not a top 10 welterweight. It's gonna take a lot for him to even get top 10. Because he gotta go polish up on some skills. Freddie Roach gotta get him right. Said the other fighters are blackballing Boots. You think so? Yeah, I think the other fighters are black. I think these other fighters look at like. I think these other fighters are looking at like they don't want to fight Boots because the juice ain't worth the squeeze. They're not making a whole lot of money and ain't a bet on the line. That's what I think. Jarron said he going to 168 before he retires. Yeah, Jarron a big kid, man. Him and Devin are never. I don't think they'll ever fight. Dead guy might win. I think he'd get up to 168. Yeah, he might, man. He's a dude. Jaron is a big dude, man. Roman is tailor-made for Boots. Oh, yeah, he is. He is, Brian. He is. He's tailor-made. Yeah, we won't learn nothing on that Roman fight. Because Boots will stop him. Roman keeps coming forward, and Boots has power. You thought he left Freddie Roach? I think he's still with Freddie Roach, ain't he? Did Blair Cobbs leave Freddie Roach? Last I heard, he was with Freddie Roach. He beat him at 15, 16. Who you talking about? Are you talking about Devin? Devin and Ennis? Is that what you're saying? Keith's been training all this time. Spencer's ducking him 1,000%. Okay, AAR. We see you smooting, man. Yeah, I see you smooting, man. But I don't know. I listen. Said ducking, Spencer's ducking. hey. Keith throwing out every excuse. He's throwing out everything he can. Oh, okay. I want to see Better Be versus Benavidez. Benavidez said he beat Bivol in sparring. Yeah. Benavidez. Yeah. Listen, Benavidez is bigger than Bivol. And Jermell Charlo is bigger than Bivol. When you look at them guys side by side, they bigger. Even though he fights at a bigger weight than him, They might be more lean or whatever else, and that's what they're doing to keep them down. But they taller. They big dudes, man. Them dudes big. Them dudes big. I don't know. I can't wait to see this fights, man. I can't wait to see it. But I just wish that in the meantime, while we waiting on Spence and Crawford to go and play out, I just wish Thurman and Boots would come on with it, man. I wish they would just come on with it, man. It's time for that. Get that one going, and stop with all this. Who is the kid acting like you don't know who it is? So everybody knows Spence is ducking Thurman. Man, Thurman ducking Thurman. The old Thurman can't even come out because the new Thurman want to sit around and play the flutes and talk about how he's supposed to be out there on stage and he only there. Spence only fighting Ugas because he lost the belt to Pacquiao. Well, you lost to Pacquiao. You could have made sure you didn't lose to Pacquiao. You had to be in the damn casino playing gambling at night before the fight. You wasn't taking it serious, man. I don't think Keith was taking that Pacquiao thing serious. Hear me out, Showboat. Better be versus Wilder. You think Better Biv got a chance at Wilder? So you think he gonna move up 25 pounds and fight Wilder? Nah, he ain't wanting that. Yeah, man. Dude, there's no way Better Biv can get up there and fight Wilder. Better Biv, if he gets up there, moves up 25 pounds, them dudes hit different up there. And Wilder is 6'8", 6'6", man. Wilder is tall, dude. Now, that won't be a good fight. That won't be a good fight. Better be able to get up there, Wilder and knock him out. It could happen, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Not at 175. Better be of Beterbiev is better. Beterbiev is Beterbiev can't fool Wilder. You don't want him to go up to heavyweight, man. That's like saying Beterbiev go up there and beat Usyk. You know what I mean? Because Usyk could come down up under there. Now that would be a good fight. Beterbiev and Usyk, that would be a good fight. Up under 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But him putting on 25 pounds to get up there at 200, and you still got to go up. So, I mean, you got to go up about 30 pounds just to be up there. And you fighting a dude that's 215 that can hit like that? Nah, you don't want to see that, man. Said Thurman running around outpoints Earl Spence. That's why he ducked him. Nah, Thurman ain't gonna run. Thurman gonna come in the beginning before he does run and try to get hit on the scorecard. But Spence ain't a slow starter, so Spence gonna already be on his body, and Spence knows how to cut off the ring. So Spence throwing them good body shots. That's Thurman gotta do something different. See, I think we need to start the duck this year. Thurman #1. Yeah, we need to go and get the duck list started, man. Hey, you remember I said I was waiting on Crawford. If Crawford didn't take that, we was gonna go at #1. So Thurman gonna be number one, huh? Is that what you want? Said Usyk is a cruiserweight. Yeah, Usyk can fight Beterbiev. So I think Thurman issue is he can't throw with the same power after his elbow injury. Thurman's actually said that he fixed his hand now. He can use his other hand. That's what Thurman says. Thurman said he can now use his other hand. So with that being said, if he can use his other hand, it's time to let that roll, bro. Let it roll. Say Spence better cutting off the ring on Bud. Man, hey, that Bud thing, Bud can use his feet, man. Bud counters, Bud can use his feet. I can't wait to see how this one's gonna pop off, bro. I can't wait to see how that one's gonna pop off. Yeah, Virgil. You can't say Thurman is ducking Boots without saying Virgil ain't. Yeah, Virgil said 3 to 4 more years down the road. That's bull. Yeah, Virgil said that. Yeah, Virgil should already be ready to fight Boots. My thing is this: at this point, nobody should be waiting out to build no fights up. Spence and Crawford got to fight it out. These other guys just waiting in the wings. You can't wait in the wings because who gets the first shot? Ask yourself this. Let's say Virgil, the winner Virgil and Stanionis is sitting there. They waiting to get that fight with Spence and Crawford. So Spence and Crawford got to go fight a rematch, and then Boots is going to say, I'm next in line. Keith Thurman saying he's next in line. Virgil's going to say, or the winner, Virgil and Stanionis say they next. So that's going to be 3 guys that have a claim to make the fight that will be mandatory for those belts. So what them 3 guys going to do? Just sit there and wait? Who are they going to say get the fight first? You know? So them guys got to start fighting each other in the meantime to get themselves ahead to get over there. Because let's say Spence and Crawford have a rematch. They fight in May. They turn around and fight in December or fight at the beginning of next year, right? That's going on a whole year that all these guys is waiting. What Boots going to do in the meantime? What's Virgil Stanionis going to do? What's Thurman going to do? What are they going to do? These other guys are trying to get up in their spot. You know? They all got to fight, man. They all got to fight. So I see a lot of Crawfords take that guy's a monster. Crawford's a fighter, man. Belt's going to scatter like Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. And it's up to a new generation to collect it. Yeah, that's what's going to happen once one of them say, okay, I'm done, I'm going up. How do I feel about Spence versus Castano at 154? I can see that as a welcome fight. I don't. Listen, I want to see Spence and Castano, but not his first fight in. Spence got to get acclimated to 154, man. You don't go in there fighting that beast. Castano is a beast, dude. Castano is a good fighter at 154, bro. And he's already acclimated at 154. You got to give a person time to get acclimated at that weight. You can't just go in there and tell them, just come on with it. They got to get acclimated. Yeah, this year has been the potential being the best year in boxing in decades. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree with you that. Oh, yeah. Salute on that one. ATL unanimous. Salute. Hey, bro, it's 100% official, like. oh, let me get this. Hey, here you go, ATL.
Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're gonna make that happen?
Huh?
You're gonna make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm gonna get these straps and I'm gonna go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Now, strap season. I know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
There you go. Yeah. Go ahead, call in. The phone line open. But hey, watch the profanity. Everybody got to watch profanity. You know, listen, YouTube is paying me pennies. And that one little penny that they paying me, they try to take a little bit out of it. They giving your boy like a fourth of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a fourth of a penny because they turning my little signal that your boy ain't making nothing off of this. So just watch the profanity. But yeah, the phone lines are open, bro. Phone lines are open. Where's Triple G? Did he retire? Triple G needs to go on retire, bro. Listen, he retired with that cash grab from Canelo. You know what I'm saying? He knew that. Listen, he knew he wasn't gonna beat Canelo. Yeah, he knew that. He knew Canelo wasn't. He knew that. He knew. Hey, listen. He knew that. That was a money grab for Triple G. He wasn't beating Canelo. And Triple G done gave up them belts. He's looking for one more fight to get up out of there. He probably trying to figure out, like, who else can I fight? Give me a couple more meal, and I'll go ahead and ride off to the sunset. That's what Triple G heading, to the sunset, bro. To the sunset. It's over for Triple G. It's over. It's going to be over for Canelo, too. Oh, yeah, he ain't fighting Laura. He wasn't fighting Laura. He running from that. Yeah, they all run. Listen. Them dudes done dodged a lot of smoke, man. Canelo and Triple G. Neither one of them dudes fought Andre Ward. How the hell do you do that? Talking about Andre Ward was too big. You know what I mean? But y'all wasn't saying that about Floyd when they were trying to get Floyd to come up and fight Triple G. They weren't worried about that, did? Man, Triple G, man. Hey, them dudes know what they was doing, man. They know it. But forget them dudes. We're gonna hold fighters to feet to the fire that can really go out and do something. Bud has stepped up to the plate. Now we need Boots, Thurman, Ugas, Stanionis, and Virgil to go ahead and pull their weight at 147. Because everybody talking all this crap about Spence and Bud, and they need to make the fight and all that, right? Well, guess what? That fight is made. That fight is going down. So now what these dudes gonna do? So we're gonna listen. We're gonna hold everybody's feet to the fire on this one, bruh. Everybody got a show. You know what I'm saying? Even Tank said he wants Devin next.
Call from
ATA Nemesis.
Salute. Showboat and Sports, you on ATL. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, Showboat. How you doing, fam?
Man, I'm doing just fine, man. But go ahead. The floor is yours, my man. How's it? Go ahead. Lay it on us.
Oh, Thurman versus Boots. That would be a great fight. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see it because there ain't no other fight going on right now. So that would be a great fight, man. I think Thurman will show up and put Boots to test. If Boots going in and just dog Thurman, then we know what it is. But at the end of the day, I think Thurman will put on a great show against Boots. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to say, man. You know I fuck with you, man. The one-stop shop. You want some quicker saying news, man? Hey, that's why I think Thurman on top of Boots because he ain't never faced nobody. He ain't never fought nobody with no real name, and that's just what I think, man. I'm going to holler at you later on.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. So there you go. There you have it. Thurman versus Boots. Yeah. That's the one we need to see, though. We need to see what Boots is made of. You know what I'm saying? All the way down. And Thurman needs to come back. So why wait? Why wait on that? This is the next big fight at 147. And then, to be honest, listen, this is where it should go. Thurman, listen. Spence versus Bud. That's the number one fight. Boots versus Thurman. That's the second fight. Ugas versus the winner of Virgil and Stanionis. Now that should be it. That'll get us all where we need to be. Right there. That would make the welterweight division be incredible right there. Them fights happen. Oh my goodness, Thurman needs to just retire. Jamal, salute. Yeah, but Thurman keeps saying he wants to come back. And Thurman used to be, Thurman is a hell of a fighter, bruh. A hell of a fighter. But I don't understand what's going on with Thurman. I don't know if it's left him, from his heart. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Thurman still got it in the chest. You know what I mean? Where he really wants to beat her. He says he wants it, but I don't see that spark out of Thurman. It shows you he's ready to take on anybody that gets in his way. So Ugas is already supposed to fight Barrios. That might be a decent fight. Yeah, that'd be a good fight for Ugas to come on back. But the problem is they keep running Barrios into the... Listen, Barrios is a good fighter, man. They should have put Barrios to the side and helped him a little bit. Gave him some fights outside of that. They keep putting him in there instead of letting him do a couple of fights, get himself together, man. Shit, that game about two, three good fights. He said, I thought Ugas called out Boots. What happened to that? I don't know. Said Tank will have that straight left on Devin. Well, whatever it is, they need to fight. Listen, whoever it is, they all need to fight. See, we getting spoiled at 2023. So while we getting spoiled, they might as well give us every fight we've been wanting to see. Give them all to us this year. Overload us with the best fighting the best this year. Give it to us this year. Let this year go down in the history books. Because, dude, to be honest, this year right here is in the history books. Really, it's got to be. Tank done fought twice this year. Tank done had some good ones. Then now you got Spence in that. You got Devin and Loma. Come on, man. They might as well finish this year on up the right way. You know what I'm saying? Finish it on up. Plant versus Benavidez. Then you got Stephen Fulton Jr. versus Inoue. That's going to be good. Come on, man. They might as well load us on down. Give us Keith Thurman. Give us Jaron Ennis. Give us that fight. Then give us Stanionis and Virgil Ortiz to fight Ugas. Give us that. I think Ugas and Boots would be a good fight, but I just think I would like to see Ugas get a tune-up fight just to see where he is after that Spence fight. You know what I mean? Instead of taking him right back to the fire, give him one tune-up. Give him one tune-up. Said Barrio should have been AB's comeback fight. I don't know about that. I don't know if AB got what it takes to beat Barrios because AB don't let his hands go. Said Broner said they'll put you in there with Godzilla to make $10 million. He did. Yeah, he did say that. They'll put you in there. But they told him, you want to make that money, you got to fight the best. I think that's what that let me know when he said that, it made all the sense in the world by why PBC putting on all these fights. Because they know if you make the best fight the best, it's going to make money. It's going to make money. Said Devin is going to fight Tank. Like I said, his fan channel said he's going to move up. He can't make the weight comfortably. Listen. If Devin doesn't fight Tank next, Devin needs to get up out of 135 or Shakur Stevenson. If you can't fight him, then get up out of the weight. You can't go in there and say, I can make the weight to go fight this guy, but I can't make the weight to go fight that guy. He said he's going to stay at 135 for the rest of 2023. In doing so, he needs to fight those guys. No excuses, man. This year, we're not letting nobody get no excuses, bro. What we're going to do is I'm going to bring back the duck list, right? And like I told you, I was trying to see what Crawford was going to do. So Crawford ain't on the duck list this year. He ain't on there. He ain't on there right now. He already stepped up to the plate. So now what we got to do is we got to go ahead and do a show and find out who's going to be on the duck list. Who is ducking somebody this year? Because right now, everybody giving it to us. Boots versus Broner? Nah, man. Boots versus Broner? No. Broner, nah, man. I don't want to do Broner like that. Broner can't mess with Boots. Not now. Said Ugas versus Broner. I want to see Broner go down, man. Broner need to go down to 140, man. And Ugas just needs one tune-up before he fights Boots. Just to see. Because after you get hurt like that and get stopped in a fight, that stuff can mess with you. So you're going to take him out of there and put him back in there with a little young kid that's even worse. I mean, not even worse than Spence, but just as, you know what I mean? Just as nice. Nah, man. Ugas need one more fight in between. Just one more. Say, you see where he called out Regis, but they ain't making that fight either. He'll take a light fight first. Yeah. He should. I think Adrian Broner career, man, great be over with. He over there with Don King, man. I don't think he's getting back there. Said Pitbull is still ducking Shakur. Yeah, Pitbull is. Hey. But Pitbull is fighting Gio. Speedy Ellis versus Boots. Starter Kit Duke. Salute. The only problem with that is Speedy Ellis can't mess with Boots because Speedy Ellis doesn't have nothing in them gloves to stop Boots. He already proved that when he fought Roman Villa, when he fought him, he didn't have nothing to keep Villa back. Nothing. He hit Villa with everything, including the kitchen sink, and could not stop that dude. So you know he can't stop Boots, and Boots can hit. Boots is gonna stop him. So that ain't gonna be a good one, man. Speedy Ellis, I like him. He can box. He's got some good boxing skills, but he ain't got enough to stop a real true welterweight with some real serious power. Jermaine already called out Shakur. Said AB ain't that active anymore. Nah, AB ain't. He won't let his hands go. Nah, AB at 147 is not good. Ugas versus Danny, that would have been good. Ugas versus Danny at 147 would have been good. I would have liked to have seen that. But now Danny went up to 154. And I don't understand what Danny did. I understand Danny wanted to change but Danny was dominant at 140. 147, Danny competed. Danny was right there. But I think Danny had a little bit more left in him. So I don't understand why Danny decided to go to 154. I don't understand that. I don't know. Now he's gonna be fighting Lara. Where's Robert Easter? I don't know where Bunny is. I don't know where Bunny is. Robert Easter is a good fighter, man, but all that layoff, I don't know, man. How old is Robert Easter anyway? What's up, Dion? Salute, Queen, salute. He said Ugas versus Garcia would be great. Yeah, it would be. It would be if they would fight at 147. But Danny went up to 154. That's the bad thing. I wish Danny had to stay down at 147, man. Like Thurman. Thurman said he's not moving up. Thurman said, I'm staying at 147. I don't know. I said Danny don't want to cut weight no more. Yeah, he probably don't. He probably don't. Rocha versus Boots. That might be all right. Hey, but see, this is the thing. This is the thing. Boots wants to stay up there a starter. Boots want to stay up there and stay up there and be right there for Bud and them. So this is my thing. Boots and Ugas would be nice if Ugas would take a tune-up first, you know what I mean? Make sure he good. But Thurman would be great for that. Or the winner of Virgil Ortiz and Stanley Onces would be great. That's who Boots need to fight. Said Ugas and Crawford after Spence destroys him. Yeah. Danny versus Tim Tszyu. Woo. But you know something? Danny's good, man. The thing about it is, man, Danny's good. I like to see that. Tim Tszyu, man, the only thing about that Tim Tszyu thing is Tim Tszyu beat he beat what's name, but man, I don't know, man. I hate to keep saying that about Tim Tszyu. I'm not big on Tim Tszyu. I'm just not, man. I'm just not big on Tim Tszyu. So him and Danny would be a good fight, I would think. But everybody seems to think Tim Tszyu can beat Charlo. So said Rocha won't be fighting until the WBO has been vacated. Who can step in the ring after Crawford versus Spence? What do you mean, like to challenge him? I know Boots said he's stepping up in that ring, though. Boots said that. Said Tim Tszyu too strong for Danny. Yeah, 154. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Tim Tszyu ain't a bad fighter. I just don't see him. I didn't think Tim Tszyu would beat Tony Harrison, but he beat Tony Harrison. But that ain't the version of Tony Harrison that I don't know, man. You know who I like to see Tim Tszyu had a fought? Brian Castano. That's who he should have fought. Brian Castano and Tim Tszyu would have been a good fight, but I got Brian Castano. I think Castano would have beat him, though. So I don't think Tim beats Lara, in my opinion. I don't think anybody beats Lara, Charlo even. Woo! You don't think so? Well, I don't know. We got to see. Got to see that one. He walked Harrison down. Yeah, he did. He walked Harrison right down. Harrison didn't have nothing for him, bro. Nothing. Harrison normally boxes and moves. I don't know what the hell got. Listen, listen, I hate to say it because it's like we making excuses, man. And I said it before, Duke. I don't like saying it because it's like we making excuses. And you know, you beat a dude, you beat a dude. You know what I mean? He beat Harrison, he beat him. I don't think that was the best version of Harrison, but what can I say, man? I can't prove that. It's over for Harrison. He said it might be over for Harrison. It should be over for Harrison. Because if let's say he comes back and has a really good fight, the next fight, then he still might go back into whatever slump this is again. He's not the youngest dude out there. And Tim Tszyu beat him, man. Tim Tszyu beat him. And he didn't look good with Tim Tszyu at all, man. I didn't see nothing out of Tony Harrison that I was pleased with. Nothing. Hardly nothing that I was pleased with on that one, bro. Nothing at all. Nothing. So what can we say, you know? And Tim Tszyu did walk down Tony Harrison. That's the bad thing about it, man. That's the bad thing about it. I ran my mouth saying, oh, yeah, I wish Tim Tszyu and Tony Harrison, and got the fight. And I'm sitting there, oh yeah, Tony Harrison gonna do this, Tony Harrison gonna do that. And Tony Harrison went in there and didn't do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Tony Harrison done nothing, man. Nothing at all. Nothing. Nothing. So Tony Harrison might be at that turning point where he need to be retiring, man. I thought Tony Harrison was going to win too, bro. And if Tony Harrison didn't win, I would have liked to see Tony Harrison show some of that old Tony Harrison. Get in there, bang it up, fight, do your move. The Tony Harrison that fought Charlo the first time or the second time would have done wonders against Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? So Tony Harrison's dad died, and maybe that could have been a little bit of it, man. You know what I'm saying? I think that could have been a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody Laura fights. It's controversial. Think about it. Canelo, Hurd, Castaño, Williams, all could have been dubs for real. People had Laura beating Hurd even after the knockdown. Man, Laura is a good fighter, though. Laura's a good fighter. So, you know, they were more on Caleb Plant. Man, listen, man, this is my thing, Brian is. I like Caleb Plant, but everybody knows Caleb Plant, after the 10th round, you got him. Yeah, Ugas beat Crawford twice in amateurs. When Spence beat down Crawford, great match. Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Or listen, if Spence beats Crawford and then Boots next. You know? I don't know, man. It's a lot of good fights out there, man. But like I was saying, Brian, I like Caleb Plant, but everybody knows Caleb Plant in the later rounds is doing nothing, man. He can't. I don't understand why they won't get Caleb Plant in shape to go fight a 15 round fight. They need to get him conditioned to fight 15 round. Yeah, but he's a great gatekeeper. Yeah. So do you think Tank got a chance against Thurman? I mean, he did beat Barrios. Nah, Tank won't beat. But this is the thing. You don't want that fight won't be good because Keith Thurman ain't gonna go take no rehydration clause and come down to one where Tank gonna shrink himself down to Tank. If they fight, they're gonna fight at 147. I would think if Keith Thurman is smart, you fight at 147. You know what I'm saying? And then Keith gonna get his, Keith gonna beat Keith in the ring. And Tank ain't gonna beat Keith. Keith is a skilled fighter, man. For them to even compare that, that's just like saying, do you think Tank can go up there and beat Boots, Bud, or Spence? Tank can't fight them three dudes, man. You wouldn't even question that. You wouldn't question that, bruh. I just think Tank is too small to fight them dudes, you know? And for them to even be putting it in with Keith and keep going, you know what I mean? All that little silliness, man. Keith did that to himself, man. Said Tank KOs anybody. Tank can, but he ain't gonna beat Keith. Tank won't beat Keith. Say he got too much muscle mass. I don't know that Caleb Plant has too much muscle mass. I just think Caleb Plant, for some reason, Caleb Plant ain't whatever he's doing in his cardio, man, they ain't got it right. They should get him right to be able to fight a good 15 round fight. That way he can go in there and give it his all for 12 rounds. Because whatever Caleb Plant is doing, he's consistently doing the same thing. He gets tired 9th, 10th round. He starts getting tired. Said Thurman don't like it to the body. I put body on Tank by KO. So you put a little money on Tank for KO. Thurman ain't fought no puncher like Tank. Danny can punch, man. Danny can punch. And Sean Porter used to spar with Tank. I think he sparred with Tank a little bit. You think Tank KO's Thurman to the body? I don't think Tank stops Thurman to the body, man. The only reason why is Thurman done been hit to the body. Thurman took some shots, but Thurman ain't go down to the body. Said Tank got that Tony Harrison syndrome. Plant's got that Tony Harrison syndrome. They both can't go past 7 rounds. Yeah, man, Tony Harrison, man, he did all right against Jamel first few times. You know what I mean? Till Caleb tires out running around. Yeah, but if they condition him to fight a 15-round fight, then he would do 12. He could do 12 good rounds. Said Caleb Plant weight-wise looked bigger than David. When you spit your mouthpiece. Hey, but Keith Thurman put his mouthpiece in his hand. He put his mouthpiece in his glove and took off on that bite. But you know what's funny? Everybody that has caught Keith Thurman to the body only caught him once. He didn't let him get back to that body again. Pacquiao didn't get back to his body. Josecito Lopez, Barrio, neither one of them guys got back to that body again. Neither one of them. Anybody has ever really caught Keith one to the body one good time, they haven't. And Keith recovers and he changes up. Keith changes up. Keith is a really good fighter, man. I just hate that Keith has done this to himself by playing games and playing the damn flute. Him playing that flute has hurt him big time. Keith Thurman has. He's hurt himself big time with that. Well, hopefully we'll get what we got to get. But anyway, guys, that's all for me tonight, guys. I appreciate everybody coming in. All the new people, if you guys are new, and everybody hit the thumbs up for me, man. And all the new people, please subscribe to the channel. We do this every weeknight at 10 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys come on back, check that out. And so anyway, we say what we say, and we stand on that. That's straight up, no chaser. So peace, fight fam. I'm out. I'll get with you guys tomorrow night. So hopefully we'll be hearing something about these new fights coming on, man. But they got to go ahead and start announcing these new fights. Hopefully Keith will be in there. Jaron Ennis. I know they asked Keith about it. Keith said, well, you know, he does need to find a fight, but I think Keith already has a fight up and going, because ever since Spence had already, the talks came in about it, and he was already mandatory, you didn't hear no more about that. So I think that the PBC has some place for them to go, all of them guys to go. So we should be seeing those announcements coming up soon. But anyway, guys, y'all have a good night. I'm out of here. Catch you guys tomorrow night. Peace, fight, fam. I'm out.